welcome to my channel. So today's video is going to be a little bit different. Basically about a year ago I bought some small appliances from SMEG. So I bought the toaster behind me and also the knife rack and knives, and opened them up and thought kind of a year later I'll review them. And since then I've also bought the cream kettle as well from SMEG. So what I'll do is I'll insert here when I purchased them and opened them, and then I'll kind of come back at the end of the video and actually go over what I think of each of the three SMEG small appliances. So I've got a few of the deliveries that have arrived today. So I thought I'd just open some up with you. Basically a few months back now I bought and was well overdue a load of new knives. The ones I had, God, they were really old, like really old, and I just thought I'd get a new pack. And at the same time, one of my local supermarkets here in Auckland was doing like a promotional thing. So if you kind of accrue so many stickers, you can get X, Y, and Z. And I basically used the stickers that I accrued to get this SMEG knife block with a load of knives with it. So just to give you a bit of a visual, this is what I bought. It's really lovely. Basically it has 6 knives within it, and it says on the back there's a vegetable knife, a utility knife, a meat knife, a santoku knife, I think that's how you pronounce it, bread knife, and a chef's knife. All super sharp. I know that because I've already cut myself a few times. But I definitely recommend SMEG knives for sure. It was worth it, and I think that it's just really nice and sleek as well. This is kind of a cream glossy front with the silver SMEG branding, and then kind of a wood base, so it's really heavy. But off the back of that, it made me look at the SMEG small appliances, and at the same time I wanted to get another toaster. Again, I've had my toaster for forever. And even when I bought it, it was like really cheap anyway. So I thought I'd get something else. So this arrived recently. So I got a SMEG toaster, and we'll see. Lots of padding. So just checking. All right, just because this is blue, but just to check, it's got the cream image there. I did wonder when I opened it then, going, I didn't order blue, and this makes me think it's a blue toaster. I wonder what gives it away. So I'm hoping this isn't blue and it actually matches the cream knives. Molly! Molly, come here! Molly! Come here. Come on, what are you doing? Now what do we think? Do we think this is A, the cream toaster? Or do we think B, it's in and is blue from the packaging? I really hope it's not the blue one. Oh, thank God, it's the cream. Brilliant. So this is just the pack. Kind of manual and warranty, a bit more packaging. Not short of packaging. Jeez. Oh, it looks gorgeous. There we are. So it's a 2-slice SMEG toaster. Give you an idea. Little handle, the little buttons as well. Don't think there's anything packaging inside. No, it's all good. Yeah, so no, impressed with that. And the whole point of me getting the cream one was obviously to go with the cream knives. So I do like things to kind of match if possible, if it's available. So obviously that's the cream knives, and then you've got the cream toaster, which I think is pretty good. I'll put the details in the description bar below for the toaster, and yeah, I got it in the sale, so I'm not quite sure how much I ended up paying for it, but I'll put the information in anyway in the description bar. And let me know what you think. Oops. The plan is to not stab myself with said knives, which probably wasn't the best idea to actually put on the sofa. So let's put them safely down here so I don't actually cut my arm. That would just be typical of me, actually. Ooh. Yeah, so as I was saying, the toaster, I'll put the information in the description bar. Let me know what you think in the comments, whether you think you like the cream or whether you would go for one of the other colours, which I think SMEG do kind of baby pink, this kind of blue colour. I also think they do black and silver. I saw those as well, and I think different companies have different colours as well that sell for SMEG, and I'll review it and get back to you and see whether it's actually any better than the one I've got, really, because the one I've got's okay, it's just really old and kind of on its last legs. It's still, you know, toast bread, fine, but this one's obviously a bit nicer, and you know, to be fair, aesthetically, it's pretty nice, like really nice. So I'm quite impressed with that. So I'll let you know in another video the review of how it goes and what I overall think of it. But so far so good from what I've seen. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Brilliant. So I've just got a lot of packing and boxes now. Maybe probably didn't need as much packing, I would say, seeing as it was already in a box, but it's all good. All recyclable for the packing. So you would have seen the footage that I did when I got the toaster and the knife rack. So basically it was pretty much a year later, and I thought it'd be great to do the review of what I think of all the items. These are the first times I've had SMEG small appliances. I've not had any of the SMEG items before, so kind of newbie to the brand. But what we'll do is we'll get started with the knife rack first, which is quite heavy. So this was something I purchased at the time. My local supermarket was doing this offer where you collect stickers, and those stickers then you can get like the block and the various knives. So it's quite heavy. And I got some really old knives I bought from the UK, and they were just a bit naff really, so I thought this is a good time to kind of invest in some really nice knives. And I would say it took me probably a few weeks to stop cutting myself because they're so sharp. Oh my god, I mean, I kind of did not appreciate how blunt my previous knives were, and they're really easy to clean actually. The knife rack is quite durable as well. It's had a bit of a battering in the kitchen. I think it was quite a good investment and actually quite a good time that the supermarket was doing this kind of promotional offer. And I've got a lot more variety of knives than I had before. I'm not sure how much it is retail for the whole lot because I did it through this promotion at the supermarket, but I would definitely invest in them. I really like the knives. I use them multiple times a day. People that come around to the house use them. I really like them. I would say pretty much 10 out of 10 actually. Easy to clean, durable, super sharp, and yeah, really nice, really kind of nice to actually work with as well, quite tactile, and aesthetically the actual knife block and knives look really nice in my apartment, so really happy with the knife block. I'd just be wary that when you get them, just be kind of conscious of how sharp they are. And then also the toaster. So this is just a 2-slice toaster. I think you can get the larger ones as well. This one I would say was more problematic. So some advantages. So I love the aesthetic. Again, it all matches. Really easy to put toast and things in. And actually the kind of knob is really kind of easy to use. Generally it's easy to use, but I would say a few negatives that myself and a few of my flatmates would definitely confirm is that when you put the toast in, the spring back on here is quite ferocious. So you will put the toast in and it'll ping up, and most of the time, certainly when I do it, the toast springs up out of my kitchen and pretty much out onto one side of my lounge. It's intense, the spring. You kind of have to catch it, and that applies to different types of toast, different types of bread we've used, different thicknesses, but it goes nuts. So I have to make sure, I have to position the toaster in a way that it isn't going to kind of fall out over the kitchen and kind of my island, and that's kind of a pain, to be honest. Another negative would be the kind of crumb trap at the bottom here that pops out. I find this fairly useless, even though I have one. Compared to previous toasters that I've had they've been really good, this one, it does seem to just still leak breadcrumbs everywhere, even though I regularly clean the bottom of the toaster tray out here. It just kind of easily ejects, but it still leaks. If you move it, it's still coming out, so it's a bit of a faff when it comes to kind of cleaning, and every time you move the toaster there's crumbs everywhere. So it kind of defeats the object of having the toaster tray release, because it's not really trapping much. So that is a bit of a pain. And I'd say the other third negative is the temperature on the side. As much as it's easy to use, lights up and everything, if I put something on, let's say number 3, I put in some toast, put in some bread, and I go back again in a couple of minutes, or my flatmate uses it, if they then, like, the residual heat of the toaster means that if they put it on 3, exactly the same number as me, it can pretty much be cremated. So it keeps the heat from the toaster, it doesn't go back to 0 in a sense. So you can quite often, I quite often burn my bread, and it can be pretty much like charcoal, because it could be that I've used it for something else, or someone else has used it, and the heat still in the toaster doesn't start off as 0. You're already kind of starting off on like a 2 and a 3. So when you put the level onto maybe 5, it's already hot, so you're not kind of slowly heating it from 0 to 5, if that makes any sense. But myself and my flatmates have noticed that that's consistently been the case. So if I know someone's put it on a 5 before me, I will pretty much put mine on 1 or 2, knowing that it's already still quite hot, and will kind of toast the bread a lot quicker than it would normally do as a toaster being from cold, which sounds kind of not necessarily a big deal, but compared to my other toasters, it's not really been an issue until I've had this one. So you do kind of have to gauge the levels a bit better. The amount of disasters I've had with completely overdoing, I mean, I quite like my toast quite, minimal toasted, but yeah, the gauge on this doesn't necessarily reflect actually how much you're toasting the bread, if that makes sense. But using of it's quite nice, quite simple to use, lights up, etc. So the toaster I found a bit more problematic compared to the knife block, on like a usability element, but on an aesthetic, again, it's really lovely and obviously matches. And then since the footage you saw a year ago that I would have put in previously, I've since bought the kettle, because I've obviously had the knife block and the toaster. So the kettle I did have was the little kind of switch had broken, so I needed a new kettle anyway, and I'd had the kettle for like forever, so I thought I'd get this one. Again, it's the cream one. It's got a really nice easy release lid, lights up when it's on. It actually boils pretty quickly as well, and you know, got the usual kind of information side here. So yeah, all in all, I thought this was pretty good. It does come with the base that you plug in just at the bottom, and it's quite a bit lighter compared to the knife block and the toaster as well. But again, I use this daily, and it's been pretty good. I would say as well, overall, the aesthetic of the cream I found pretty hard wearing for all three small appliances. So there's not many scuffs or damage. That was one thing I was worried about when I got the cream of all of the items, that in the kitchen it might get buffed up and scratched and damaged compared to like maybe getting the black or the silver. But actually on all three items, even the toaster, the kind of wear and tear has been really good. And there's multiple people that use all three of these appliances in the apartment, and they've been really good. I would say I didn't need to worry about the cream because it's really in quite good nick. I mean, this is obviously newer. I bought this maybe 6 months ago, maybe a bit less, whereas the toaster and the knife block I've had for over a year. So far so good. But I would say out of all three, the knife block is my favourite. The knives are gorgeous to kind of use and chop and stuff, and also the Kettle. So the Kettle was, I can't remember the prices of all of these. I'll link the details in the description bar below. But the Kettle was really good as well. I just would say that the toaster, it's kind of got a life of its own practically, both with the release mechanism, the toaster tray at the bottom, and also the temperature gauge on what you're trying to, what level you're trying to toast your bread, can be quite a faff. So I would say 2 of the 3 items I would purchase again. I'm not sure if I'd purchase the toaster again, to be honest. I may get a different toaster next time. But overall, all 3 of them, aesthetically, it does look gorgeous. So, and that's important to me as well. It may not be to other people, but I did like the fact that it all matched, and I did like, as the first experience of SMEG small appliances, I definitely would look at other small appliances that they do. I don't personally need any large appliances in my kitchen. I'm pretty much all covered, but if there was any other small appliances, I definitely would go to SMEG and just try them out for sure, because 2 out of 3 I think are pretty good. And there's only a few little pet peeves with the toaster for me personally. It may not kind of bother you guys, but it's a bit of a faff really. But I thought it would be good to do a review of all of the items, especially because it's a year later, and as opposed to me just opening them up going, oh, they look lovely, the actual practicalities of using each of these items, it isn't just about the aesthetic of the SMEG products, it is actually about how I use them, how effective they are, fit for purpose, etc. And also just they've lasted. All 3 of them are still, you know, they're all still working fine. I mean, the Kettle's a newer Kettle. I haven't had that for a year yet, but so far so good. But I hope you enjoyed the video. This is my first kind of review product that aren't beauty items, but I was buying these anyway, and I thought it would be really good to just let you guys know what I honestly think. I mean, I'm not sponsored for this. I've bought these out of my own money, and the knife rack towards like a promotion with stickers at a supermarket. So it's all my my thoughts on the items, and it's my first experience with SMEG products as well. But I hope you enjoyed the video. If you'd like to subscribe, if you wanted to click the button below, and let me know what you think, if there's any of the SMEG products that you really like, that you'd recommend actually. I don't know that many small appliances that SMEG do other than these 3, but it'd be great to let me know. But thanks for watching the video, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one.